Over 1 million cinema lovers have already subscribed to Film Companion. What are you waiting for? Hit the bell icon and join our film family. The most poignant image in Unpaused Naya Safar comes in the last film, Vaikunth, directed by Nagraj Manjule. The director also plays the lead role of Vikas Chavan, a worker at the Vaikunth crematorium. The second wave is raging. The place is overrun with bodies. Vikas spends most of his day surrounded by death and smoke. He carries the bodies out of the ambulance, arranges them on a pyre, even lights them when relatives are reluctant to come close, and then hands over the ashes. At one point, he gives a man a pot which holds the remains of someone the man knew and perhaps loved. Vikas sets it on the ground. The man sprays it and then picks it up. Even the dead need disinfection. Unpaused Naya Safar is not exactly a sequel, but more a continuation of Unpaused, which was released in 2020. There isn't much that is new in this Naya Safar. Once again, we have an anthology of 5 shorts which look at life in a pandemic and the many ways in which the virus has upended lives. But there is one improvement. In the first anthology, there was one standout film, Vishanu, directed by Avinash Arun Dhavre. In this, there are 2, Vaikunth and War Room, directed by Ayyappa K.M. and co-written by Shubham, who also wrote Vishanu and the brilliant award-winning E. Baleu. In Vaikunth, Nagraj immerses us into the banality of mass death and what happens when tragedy becomes routine. Vikas does his job with unsentimental efficiency. He doesn't have a choice. So he eats his meal while this woman wails in the background, and once the day is done, he finds some respite in a drink. Vaikunth, written by Nagraj and Sudhir Kulkarni, finds the absurd humor in this grimness. At one point, a man is told that he's praying and weeping in front of the wrong body. His is somewhere else. The frames in Vaikunth are drained of color. Smoke from the burning pyres permeates almost every scene. In one, we see a little boy, Vikas's son, doing his homework while bodies burn. It's little moments like this that bring home the enormity of the calamity and how much people have suffered. And yet, the beauty of this film is that Nagraj doesn't allow us to despair. Despite the death and the disease, life pulsates and persists, as it does in the other gem, War Room. This short is set in a COVID war room where men and women are working the phones trying to firefight. The roof is leaking. There's this inexplicable shortage of pens, so they're scrambling to share as they frantically write down addresses. An opportunistic political leader makes the round, mostly for a photo op. But the crisis management continues, helping sick people find hospital beds, counseling frantic relatives, offering a sliver of hope at a bleak time. Gitanjali Kulkarni plays Sangeeta, a school teacher and widow now working in the war room. One of the calls Sangeeta picks up happens to be regarding a man she has a tragic personal connection with, and she finds herself grappling with a moral conundrum. Gitanjali is one of those actors who enhances every scene she's in. She gives Sangeeta resilience but also an overarching sadness. Her dignity and loneliness are heartbreaking. Like Vaikunth, War Room immerses us into the minutiae of a catastrophe in real time. DOP Tasadduk Hussain, you recall his stellar work in Vishal Bharadwaj's Omkara and Kamine, captures the drudgery and drabness of Sangeeta's world. And yet, like Vikas, she endures, which, given the circumstances, her own and that of the world, is heroic. The other 3 shorts, The Couple, directed by Nupur Asthana, Teen Tigada, directed by Ruchir Arun, and Gond Ke Laddu, directed by Shikha Makan, are bland glimpses of lives interrupted. The Couple is about middle-class married professionals whose relationship frays after the wife loses her job. The film explores how much the pandemic has disrupted lives, even those of affluent, educated people with opportunities. Shreya Dhanvantari and Priyanshu Penyoli do a competent job, but the writing and direction are generic. Teen Tigada and Gond Ke Laddu can't overcome the script hurdle either. Teen Tigada has an intriguing idea. 3 low-level goons are stuck in an abandoned factory during a lockdown with stolen loot that they now can't sell. But Ruchir doesn't do enough with this, or his actors, who include Saqib Salim and Ashish Verma. The best thing about Gond Ke Laddu is the lovely Malayalam actress Darshana Rajendran, who you might recognize from Mahesh Narayan's See You Soon. I hope we see her in Hindi movies more often. Like most anthologies, Unpaused Naya Safar suffers from inconsistency. This collection proves yet again that the short film is a very specialized art form with its own very specific mastery. you can watch Unpaused Naya Safar on Amazon Prime Video. For more reviews like this, subscribe to Film Companion and don't forget to check out our website filmcompanion.in.